I just saw the tweet, and I know nothing of the episode, so I don't know. I'm not as fixated, I guess, as some people.
I didn't see it, and I didn't. I saw the what, that he had fallen.
Senator Shelby, what did you think of the president's tweet? What do you make of the president's tweet this morning? And does the president need to be more cautious?
So no real response to it, but I don't think it should be surprising in general because he tweets a lot.
Yeah, I saw the tweet. It was a shocking thing to say, and I won't dignify it with any further comment.
Do you think Republicans should denounce this, Republican leaders?
Yet again, Republicans can't manage to find their tongues when given the opportunity to condemn what was yet another disgusting accusation by the President of the United States. This time targeting a 75-year-old man who was captured in a viral video getting shoved by police officers before falling to the ground and bleeding out. And so in response to what is clearly a tragic and stomach-churning moment, this is the take that Donald Trump decided to share with the world. He tweeted, quote, "Buffalo protester shoved by police could be an Antifa provocateur. 75-year-old Martin Gugino was pushed away after appearing to scan police communications in order to black out the equipment. I watched, he fell harder than was pushed, was aiming scanner. Could be a setup?" Now what he's referring to is an OANN, or One America News Network segment. OANN, by the way, is what happens when somehow Fox News isn't conservative enough, just to give you an idea. The segment echoed a report from a site called the Conservative Treehouse, and I know what you're thinking, the Conservative Treehouse sounds reputable. The site alleged that the 75-year-old longtime peace activist was not so much a peaceful protester as an Antifa operative who, quote, "was attempting to capture the radio communication signature of Buffalo police officers, which is a method of police tracking used by Antifa to monitor the location of police." And they reported this with zero evidence to support their claim, just a hunch and some partisan hackery. And by the way, this is made worse by the fact that the OANN correspondent who narrated the segment is a man named Christian Ruse, who is, you guessed it, a Russian native who worked for, you guessed it, Sputnik, the Kremlin-controlled state TV outlet that's been accused of helping Russians interfere in the US election. Remember when Hillary Clinton called Trump a puppet for Putin? Yeah. He is literally a puppet for Putin. And here's the thing, a lot of people are saying, oh, Trump's getting worse and worse. He's not getting worse. Donald Trump has always trafficked in conspiracy theories. He started the birther movement against Obama, he accused Joe Scarborough of murder, and now he's accusing a 75-year-old peace activist of intercepting radio communications. He's always been this awful. He's always been a deranged, tinfoil hat-wearing lunatic. Only now, that's made worse by the fact that he's got the nuclear codes. But just as bad are these Republican senators who embolden this type of lunacy by their paralyzing fear of speaking out. And it's not just the ones in the clip. Cory Gardner said he, quote, "has not seen the tweet and didn't want to look at it." Cornyn said he won't comment. Cruz also doesn't comment on tweets. Braun has, quote, "no real response because he tweets a lot." The list goes on and on. Imagine being so scared of being on the receiving end of a mean tweet by Donald Trump that you can't find enough of a backbone to say that calling a 75-year-old peace activist an Antifa plant is wrong. Imagine being that spineless. Imagine having so little agency, so little dignity. I did, however, want to show Romney's response at the start of this video because at least he was able to acknowledge that it was wrong. And you nor I may agree with Romney's politics, but at least he wasn't as scared as his other 50-some-odd colleagues who'd rather pretend that suddenly they didn't know how to log on to Twitter than simply call out something that the whole world can see as disgusting. What should happen from here on out is that reporters covering Capitol Hill shouldn't bother asking Republicans' thoughts on Trump's tweets. They shouldn't bother asking for some open-ended response. They should say, do you agree with what Donald Trump said? And if you refuse to answer, we will assume you do. No more straddling the fence, no more playing dumb, no more deflecting. If Republicans want to enable Trump's every move, then they need to start taking responsibility for Trump's every move. Meaning that right now, as it stands, we have an entire party of people responsible for a slanderous attack on an elderly man who is still, to this day, in the hospital. And that is on the entire Republican Party. If you like that video, please check out my brand new podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I'll cover the most important political stories of the week and interview major players in the world of politics. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Check it out and subscribe now.